Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 14th day of November 2024. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators. Double curses on the profiteers and the perverts that make these industries go. And finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. I'm wearing my New York Knicks thing today because I am so proud of this squad. Yeah, they lost the game, but it's sometimes, of course, people that are short-sighted are not going to see what I'm about to say nor understand it, and this ain't for y'all. But people that understand the grit, the determination of a Tom Thibodeau coach team that we have with the Knicks compared to what we used to have before he came, this is going to serve the Knicks well later on, even starting Friday in Brooklyn. Against Brooklyn. It's going to serve the Knicks well. They were down 22 points. Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne, Gato Grande, Hart Bridges, and Josh Hart. They end up going up by 3 to 5 points, something like that, from being 22 down. They had no legs. I know the Knicks are not going to say anything about it because they're champions. They're champions in my book, and they're going to win the chip. But they're not going to say anything because they're not going to make no excuses. But it was the second night of a back-to-back. I don't care what. People are human. They had no legs. Okay? Thibs used Matt Ryan and Jericho Sims as best that he could to get what he could out of them two who can't really ball, on the level we need, but they're just trying to get what we can to get as much rest for the players. Here comes Deuce McBride, questionable before the game, extended left knee. He only scored 2 points, but that defense down that stretch of that 22-point comeback, and he was plus 10. Cameron Payne, one of the bench pieces that we were missing. He comes out, scores 11, and he wasn't playing inspired ball. And this is the Cameron Payne. This is the reason why they got him. Disruptive on defense, but big shots when it counts. Plus 11, he scored 11 points. Then, of course, Josh Hart. Now, yes, there are going to be a lot of knuckleheads and numbnuts that are going to be out here talking about the play where he got called on the foul at the end. But you know what? The hustle, the grit, the heart, the determination, it goes both ways. You're going to get some times where it's going to cost you, but he's going to win many more games than he loses with that for us. And he has already. So I don't want to hear nobody complaining about him. Nah. Hellified. And then, of course, Hart Bridges. He scored 20. And he was, none of them, nobody was hitting no shots because they had no legs. All of the shots were hitting front rim. Okay, they just didn't have any legs, and they didn't have no hustle in it because they was tired, they was beat. But they sucked it up in that third quarter and going into the fourth. They sucked it up. And here come Bridges. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to serve them well. Even though it was a loss, it just shows you it doesn't matter to the Knicks. They're going to fight to the end. And then, of course, El Gato Grande. My goodness, man. My goodness. He did hit He hit 6 3-pointers. But it's when he puts that ball on the floor and attacks the basket. He ended up scoring 46. Yeah, he was going off. But I'm going to tell you, when we get Precious, you get Precious back, and then you get Shaman up in here with Deuce and Cameron Payne, and this starting five, OG Anunoby was flat. I mean, he ended up scoring 14. He was coming through at the end also, but during the course of the game, he was flat. And I'm not saying, I mean, it's not negative, it's human. They had just played a big game in Philly the night before. They got one of the toughest early season schedules in the NBA. And so here's a back-to-back, a Monday, Tuesday back-to-back. OG was flat. He was. So he sat during the comeback. But then Thibs brings him and Brunson back at the stretch run at the end. That last shot by Brunson, I mean, that rolling in and out the basket, what you gonna do? It is what it is, okay? But to me, the fight that they showed, the togetherness, they weren't pointing fingers at each other, blaming each other. They were all in it together. You see, when we had Juju, there were times when it felt like, to me, Juju wasn't with the rest of the team. They were supporting him, but sometimes it just felt like he wasn't like supporting the rest of them. You know, that's gone. That's gone. This team is a team. They really are. And the key pieces are together. And this grit that they show, the fight that they show, where they not giving up, where you give them an opening, they're going to come back. And you started seeing Chicago miss shots, because the reason Chicago was hitting and seemed to be so hot, because the Knicks were a step slow. In the league, that's all it takes. Okay? It just takes a split second being a step slow or half a step slow, and the other team can go up, because it's the league. That's how good people are. Okay, so they was a step slow, and Chicago was killing them, beating them to the basket, getting open threes. They was trying, they just didn't have the energy. But then they got their second win with that same crew. Like I said, Payne, Deuce, Hart, McCall, and Gato. They got the second win. And they came storming back. And man, you could see the whole shift switch. And it got to the end, and I thought they was going to win that game. That would have been the best win, not just this year, in several years. You know, since they beat Miami on Juju's corner jumper. I don't know when that was. It was last year, year before, I can't remember. But this has been the biggest win since then. But it's all good. I'm going to tell you right now, tonight was a statement game. Not the win, wasn't a win, but it was a statement game. It let the league know there's hell to pay when we get our guys back. And we ain't talking about getting superstars back. We talking about Precious and Shaman. You add Precious and Shaman to Deuce and Payne. It's on. It's on. Okay? It's on. So I'm just right now, yesterday apparently Ian Begley reported that they asked Thibs about Precious, and he said he hasn't been cleared for contact. That means he's close. This is the last thing. He just needs to be clear for contact. Listen, the Knicks medical staff is the best in the league. That's one thing the Knicks, even when they sucked, they always had a top-notch medical staff, because it's New York. I mean, the best in the world come to New York to practice medicine. So they had the top-notch medical staff. And so they're going to make sure Precious is ready when he comes back. I have a feeling, though, it ain't going to be long. It ain't going to be long. Okay, I was saying Thanksgiving for him and Sharon, but I got to think it's going to be before that. I think Precious is going to be back before that. When they get Precious and Chua back, with the crew they got right now, when you add Cameron, Deuce to Precious, he's going to go with 8. See, he's been going with 6 and 7. That is Thibs. He's been going with 6, and some of y'all been whining about that. And I keep telling you, look at the rookies. DMPCDs, Porty, Kolick, Daddy. That's the way it needs to be. Y'all need to get over that mess. Give the rookies a chance. BS. We don't need no rookies right now. These rookies need to learn the grit of these boys that's out here playing. The pros. Let the men do what they do. Okay? Let the men do what they do. Step aside. I'm like, so he's going to play 8. When he gets Precious back, you're hardly going to see Sims. You're going to see Sims do what he's doing now. He's going to play like 9 minutes, 8 minutes. That's cool. You ain't going to see Matt Ryan. He going to take his place DMPCD with the rest of them. But for now, got what we could get, okay? But when Shamet come back, it's going to be Shamet, Deuce, Payne, Precious. And then later, you're going to get Mitch Rob in there. Somebody going to use, it's probably going to be Payne or Shamet lose some minutes because Mitch Rob going to play, okay? But it's coming. It's coming, y'all. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. I'm catching the vapors. I'm on the Knicks. I'm telling you. So don't fret, Knicks Nation. Yeah, they 5-6 right now. It's all good. It's only 11 games in. But we saw something last night. This is going to be the point at which you're going to look back and say, this is the grit of this team. When it comes time for playoff and you got to grind out some wins in the playoffs, there's going to be hell to pay. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. Don't take this too hard, Knicks Nation. It is what it is, man. Look forward. Don't look back. Don't whine about what coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm done with the coulda, woulda, shoulda crowd. If y'all didn't catch that already, you should catch it because I'd be deleting y'all left and right. Coulda, woulda, they coulda, they woulda, they shoulda. What they did is show out. It's going to serve them well. Starting tomorrow against Brooklyn. Again, y'all enjoy your Thursday. Shalom.